Question number 5, Louise Upston.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Health and asks, what reports has he received about recent progress in the treatment of stroke in New Zealand?
Honourable Tony Ryle.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Stroke is the leading cause of disability in New Zealand, and we know that fast treatment means a faster recovery, and when it comes to stroke, time is brain. Research shows a dedicated stroke unit prevents many people from having a more severe stroke and significantly improves a patient's recovery after a stroke. An audit in 2009 showed that only 39% of stroke patients were being treated in dedicated stroke units. Because of the government's focus on this, all DHBs now have a dedicated acute stroke unit or service, and I'm advised they are meeting the guidelines that 80% of stroke patients are treated in a dedicated stroke unit or service.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Louise Upston.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. What specific reports has he received about improvements in stroke treatment?
Honourable Tony
Well,
Ryle.
Mr Speaker, a couple. Recently I visited the stroke unit at the Tauranga Public Hospital, and the professor in charge of the stroke unit there told me that their audit results would indicate that Tauranga's stroke unit was achieving above average results compared to the United Kingdom, which interestingly has spent £100 million on trying to improve stroke care, and many of our services are already exceeding what they do. The Mid-Central DHB is leading work on telestroke, which means working with other DHBs to use telemedicine technology in order to link up with clinicians who can provide diagnostic support 24 hours a day to better support patient management decisions for those with stroke.
Supplementary question to Urara Flavel.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, does he agree that stroke disproportionately affects Māori people and contributes to a disparity in life expectancy equivalent to a silent epidemic which is killing 10% of the Māori population every year? And does he think that health services are giving this pretty shocking situation sufficient priority?
Honourable Tony Ryle.
Yes, I think the member makes a very good point in the statistics that he talks about. My response would be that our government has put a huge effort, particularly in a focus on the preventive areas that can help prevent people being at risk of stroke. The member will be well aware of the huge turning point that our government has created in the fight against tobacco, and he'll be very aware that one of the government's 6 national health targets is more heart and diabetes check, which is more about people getting into a pathway of care in order to avoid the risk factors of stroke.
Question number 6, Honourable Annette King.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Health. Does he stand by all his statements?
Honourable Tony Ryle.
Yes, Mr